Use your mind, use your mind, use your mind. Use your mind, use your mind, use your mind. Oh, lose your mind, lose your mind, lose your mind. Use your mind, use your mind, use your mind. Oh, lose your mind, lose your mind, lose your mind.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Brainwaves, the Cerebrawl development podcast. I am your host, as usual, Aaron, aka Good News. Joining me this week, I have Elliot Min, as usual.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
I have Matthew Too Mellow Hopkins.
Ride the wave! The Brainwaves!
And I also have Scott Animated Taco Brown.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, hello. I didn't give Elliot his nickname. I just realized that I just sort of glossed right over it.
No.
That's all right. That's all right.
Everyone knows you as Elliot anyway. Even if they see NIW, they just call you Elliot.
Hey, it's true.
Hey. How's everybody doing? You guys doing okay?
Good. Doing good. I just dropped some heat.
Nice.
Man, I got back from the bar yesterday and I ate those Korean spicy noodles.
Mm.
Yep.
Just ripped straight through you.
Oh, man. A dimensional rift in my intestines right now.
That's a good way to start off the podcast. I specifically this week decided to skip answering a question about Tack Knight's dick.
Yeah, so if you're
But
listening for that, just turn off the podcast now. 'Cause it's not going to be a
It
thing.
will go unanswered.
You're not going to be a thing. We're suppressing you. This is real censorship.
Yeah.
Look, we have
Unlike
to
what you
just
yell about on the
We popped
internet.
it right off with a question. Not even a question, but we popped it right off about Elliot's bowel movement.
Yeah,
It was
I
messed
popped
up.
off. I did a pop off. I think is that can that be negative?
Is a pop off negative?
Yeah, can it be?
A pop off is always
It's gotta be.
positive.
Oh, okay.
No, what? What?
no. Well,
Okay,
it
let's have
depends.
this conversation.
I mean, there's a winner and a loser, so for one
Sure.
person it's a negative, one person it's positive.
So I had a
I guess.
I had a Cuphead pop off. I was fighting the calamari waifu, and it's really bad. And I threw my controller for the first time in a long time behind me. I threw my PS4 controller behind me into the rest of the room, and I still have not checked on it to see if it's broken or not. I don't want to. I threw it
wireless
really
controller
far,
is really messed
really
up.
hard.
See, because when you say pop off, I think, oh, you beat that boss, and
Yeah.
you did a good yell when you beat that.
I didn't
boss,
even
and-
yell. That's the thing. I'm so quietly mad. I feel like it's even scarier.
Just smoldering.
And I just start shaking. I don't actually like yell or anything. I'm just like, it's way scarier.
Oh, that was quite the pop off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I wanted to have that preface to know if pop-offs can be negative.
I guess so. What would be a negative?
Well, the
pop-off?
popper it's positive for the person popping.
What about that guy who throws his sticks and is like known for doing that to the point where someone made a flash game where you can throw his sticks?
Why did I just space on his name?
Wait, was that Sanford?
Yes.
Sanford Kelly,
Sanford.
okay.
Yes.
I don't want to get the name wrong and embarrass somebody. But I was pretty
He
sure
had-
it was
Yeah.
that guy.
He had a negative pop off, as we call them in the FGC, and stood
Yeah, we
up
call
and
him that.
Stood up and spiked his stick. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They should sponsor him, someone who thinks they have durable sticks, so that they can show it off and just be like, yo, see, he tried to throw our sticks, didn't work out.
Yeah, Jason's Customs should hit him up.
They just
with
bounce back
that
up into your
Panzer III.
hand.
Yeah. Built like a tank. You can spike this as many times as you want.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, what's everyone playing right now? Too Mellow, you're playing Cuphead.
Yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. It's a very difficult game, but it's fair, and if you think about the things that the game offers to you, you will eventually find a way through. The only thing is that it's, not only do you have to know what to do, you have to perfectly execute. And I think that's where most of the game time comes from. It's just like, all right, I can figure this boss out in the first 20 minutes, but maybe the next hour will be me just, preaching practicing what I preach and, executing. I streamed a little bit of it, and it's always better for me to stream games that are really hard because then I have people saying like, oh, that was bullshit or whatever. And with Cuphead, it's never bullshit, but it feels nice to hear. And it's a very good game. I've heard that playing co-op is ridiculous, and it's hard to keep track of anything, and you die way easier.
Yeah, it seems way more difficult having to recover your partner mid-combat.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's not just like you don't just jump up and try to grab them out of the air because they turn into a ghost and they try to float away. You have to jump and do a parry.
Yeah,
to get them
which
out
the
of
parries aren't hard. I would compare it to like the way that you like roll towards an enemy in Donkey Kong Country or something. It has the feel to it where like, oh, there's a satisfying bounce. So yeah, it's not so rigorously timing based. Although I always have problems with the parries where I'm jumping up from below. There's a charm you can get that just makes those automatic, but the charm slot is like the most precious thing in the game. Like whatever you have in your one charm slot, there's so many good ones that's not really a good one.
Elliot, you have never played a video game before.
No, but I did. I played a couple hours of Left 4 Dead 2. I don't know if you heard of this game. It's very
Yeah, that's a really good game.
Wait, did
Yeah.
you play more of it recently? Because like last week I saw on Discord it said you were playing Left 4 Dead 2, but you were playing it for like 2 days straight.
Oh, I did not put that many hours into it, and that's the only time I played it. I haven't played it since, but I realized there's a bunch of like new content in Left 4 Dead 2 I never played. Like they put Left 4 Dead 1 in Left 4 Dead 2. And I'm like, oh, I haven't played these in a while. And also like, what was it, Silver Creek or something like that? There's a new map, so I was like, oh, I gotta play this. So I played that.
I saw that there's a mod floating around Twitter that replaces all of the writing on the walls in Left 4 Dead with Jaden Smith tweets.
Any good ones?
They're all good.
They're all good, and they all seem to fit a little too well, like uncomfortably well with the game.
Oh,
I gotta check that out.
Scott, what are you playing?
A lot of Battlegrounds.
Yeah, that's
but-
pretty much all we play.
But recently I made my way through the Uncharted quadrilogy.
The whole thing.
Wow.
Well, I had played months and months, and maybe like a year ago. So I circled back around and did 1, and then 3 and 4. And man, one didn't age well at all.
No, 1's not great.
Tell you
I
what,
was
it seems
playing
like
the remastered version. Even still,
With
it's just
how-
the pacing.
Yeah.
with how similar the gameplay in all those games are, it really doesn't seem like a good idea to marathon them like that.
Yes and no. I mean, it was a pretty straight, I think, shot in terms of their progression. Like each one genuinely is kind of better than the last one.
Yeah.
So from as like an evolution sort of thing, it's sort of interesting to see them just get better at their craft. But yeah, the core like way the game feels didn't change, and I was surprised how little, like even like the UI and just the basic recipe stayed the same. Probably to its benefit, honestly, but
Yeah, the story in 4. Oh boy.
it was great.
It's a great
I really
game.
enjoyed 4. I think as a total package, I might have liked 3 a little bit more than the other 2.
3
I,
has
don't know, I feel like 1, 2, 3 are like similarly lumped together, and 4 was just on a completely different level from them.
I never played 3, but somebody showed me the desert thing, and that was cool.
Yeah, I feel like 3 did a lot of interesting things that were more... They did more storytelling interactive moments that were not specifically a puzzle or specifically shooting or specifically punching. It was like... Yeah, they had more like interactive, I don't know, introspective portions that 4 didn't really do as much. Yeah,
For sure.
they were cool.
I am playing Golf Story because I fucking love a good golf. I think there's nothing I love more actually than a good golf game.
You ever play Kirby's Dream Course?
Oh, hell yeah. I've played Kirby's Dream Course.
That game is fantastic.
It is fantastic. Golf Story is super good. The writing is very charming, and the HD Rumble is surprisingly good.
Got to study it.
It actually, we talked about this in the Discord, I think, but so audio files are fed in to do the Rumble, right, Mello?
Yeah, I learned about it in. I have this thing that I'm getting a Switch dev kit for another game, and I'm gonna have to. There's this thing that only works on Windows that converts audio files into binary and then pipes them into the HD Rumble. I guess what do you call it? An API? I don't know.
Sure.
It pipes it in, and yeah, you can do everything from having the controllers hum melodies to just like stereo vibration and just very. Apparently, what makes HD Rumble so good, like at the center of it, is that it can go from 0 to 100 real quick, much like Drake. And like what other vibration motors on other controllers have to ramp up. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, I was last night I noticed if you hit a golf ball like off of a cliffside, it actually does play a little tune.
Yeah, it's
which
like
was crazy. Yeah, it was really crazy. And you can tell the way that it rumbles, you can tell if you're on the green or if you're in the rough or whatever. You don't even need the game's audio. And I usually listen to a podcast when I'm playing a video game, so it was really nice just being able to like feel everything that was happening.
Yeah, at some point that's an accessibility feature because it could help players who are sight impaired.
Oh yeah, totally. For sure.
It's really interesting that there's not a ton of rhythm games out immediately to support that.
That's also a good point.
The Switch, hey, Nintendo. Next year I think they'll be more open to getting more kinds of games. But right now I feel like they're just trying to go for like those indie heavy hitters or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they got Wolfenstein coming out.
And
yes, the indie super hit Wolfenstein.
Nintendo needs you to know which side they're on regarding Nazis.
Yes, exactly.
I still can't get over if you watch that Nintendo Direct and that guy with just like the colorful, lovely voice saying, "Don't let the Nazis take over America." It's so good. Fuck yeah, Nintendo.
Hell yeah. This was supposed to be our post-PAX podcast. We are extremely post-PAX at this point. We are a month and a half post-PAX. But we should still talk about what happened. There were things that happened. It was exciting. We had fun.
How into that are we gonna get? How in detail?
Oh, not too in detail.
Cool.
No,
Cool.
we're not going to talk about who we talked to.
Okay.
For sure. But yeah, Elliot and I went to PAX sort of on Friday. We got passes for Friday. We went there with the intent to talk to publishers and other people who might be interested because we got a hotel room for Sunday in which we had a publisher meeting set up and we were going to talk to a publisher, which we did. But yeah, Friday we stumbled around the show floor and talked to people such as Justin Wong and Tasty Steve and talked to a couple of publishers, and we talked to one more person, but that was on Sunday morning.
Who did we talk to on Sunday morning?
We talked to Jesus Christ, what's his name? Cross Counter TV.
Oh, Gutex.
Gutex, yes, thank you.
So you went to a show floor of a video game convention and you invited a bunch of people to your hotel room.
Yeah, I mean...
It was very sexual.
In the creepiest way possible.
Yeah, good.
For sure.
You know, I've got a room. I'm unique.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, my theory, because Tasty Steve and Justin Wong both did not respond to us. Though they both seemed genuinely excited, especially Steve seemed genuinely excited to like play the game and was very interested. I have a feeling that he didn't want to show up because he was assuming it was going to be like a hotel room full of our friends that just wanted to accost him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it didn't feel enough like a professional thing for it to be in a hotel room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I should have worn a suit that day.
Oh yeah, that make it better.
That would.
You in a suit, I'm sure
That
that
would
looks
make it-
perfectly natural.
Hey, I'll let you know
suspicious.
that I look great in a suit.
All right.
I look
You're
fantastic.
very slim,
Mhm.
like well fitted to the clothes you wear, man.
I have, and what is it? The suit that I have is well tailored to my measurements. I
All right.
look top notch. I convinced, just by wearing that suit, I convinced Yusuke to come help with Cerebrawl.
It's true. That's
Mhm.
true.
It was at a New Year's party,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I think Yusuke's first words to me was, "Oh, hey, nice suit," and I was like, "Ah, thanks, bro. Wanna help us make a game?"
Let me tell you, you know how you can get a suit like this? Game development.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That. You know, I'm only in game development for the money.
Yeah.
We all are.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
For all
advertising.
being honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All tens of dollars of game development.
You
we
could-
are in it.
You'd have to be
Every time
crazy to
someone-
do this job. Most of us are.
Every time someone asks me, like, should I join game development? And I'm like, you could be making dozens of dollars right now.
You could be paying hundreds of dollars to companies for
Mhm.
licenses
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
while you make a game that you're not sure is going to be a thing people like.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put yourself in the red, you can get yourself there in record time.
You ever wanted to get to a place in life where your dog might leave you? Welcome to game development.
Yeah, Saturday we tested the game pretty much. Well, you showed up at my apartment at like 7 p.m. on Saturday,
What's
and
that?
then we tested until midnight Saturday night,
Yeah.
and then put the build together, and then just fucking had stomach ulcers
Oh.
all Sunday
Mm-hmm.
up until meeting time, and we had a very nice meeting with a certain person we can't talk about, and then we just hung out with folks for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was one of the last times we got to hang out with Tony Dubu Yang.
Yes, who now lives in London.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're trying to see. I'm really hoping Tony and Void end up hanging out, and I want to see pics.
Yeah,
'Cause I still
wanna see selfies.
And they have to have a photo with both people in holding that day's newspaper, because I still don't believe.
No, I think that it's gonna be Tony doing like the hip hop hands put together thing, but Void is so tall that you only see like the bulletproof vest over the white shirt thing that he has as his profile picture.
Just cropped out.
Yeah.
I hope so. Because there are photos that Void has told me, like, hey, this is me, and I don't believe it. I'll have to.
He won't even, if we're playing a game and I bring a friend into the voice call, he
Mhm.
won't even say his real name. So I'm surprised that you've even seen a picture of him.
But that's the thing. I don't think I have seen a photo of him.
Oh,
You
I
think
see.
he's just
feeding you
sending you
random-
stock images.
And maybe
Yeah.
maybe we do know his name. Maybe it's all out in plain sight. We just haven't put the pieces together yet.
It's Scott. It's Scott Brown.
It's not. You know, I'm talented. I'll give you that. But I'm not that talented that I can
Yeah,
be two
have you
people
ever-
at once.
You ever seen two of them in the same place?
Well, yes, about once every day.
Okay.
I play Battlegrounds with them at 1 p.m.
You don't know. Scott could be like a great ventriloquist, that he can send his voice across the internet.
He has two microphones. He's just like a bird pecking at him.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, over here, over here.
Mm-hmm.
Little do you know, I just have a very elaborate soundboard, and I've gotten our conversations down to a science where I can predict like the likely outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
So I pre-record.
You've been psychologically manipulating me to say sentences that you can feed into that thing that makes makes voices.
Like a
No, there's a thing
A
now
voice
where
modifier that adds a British accent.
I'm gonna be real quick, but there's this thing online. I wish I knew what it was called, but you say specific sentences that it has, and it will make your voice and like make a sentence.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm scared now. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it from PAX. Now we're just, playing the waiting game. Lots and lots of waiting. That's kind of what our publisher situation is at the moment. Is waiting and waiting and waiting. So
Waiting sucks, guys.
waiting does suck real bad.
If you ever had like a job interview and then that waiting period between like when you leave that office to like when you hear back again, that's what we're going through.
But like twice the amount of time.
Oh my god, yeah.
And like when you leave a job interview and you're on the bus home or whatever, and you're thinking the whole time, like, you're thinking about all the questions that they asked you, and you're like, did I say the right thing? Did I fuck up?
And all your bombed jokes.
Yeah. No one in the room laughed at that. I think I didn't get the job.
Yeah, but not to brag, but I mean, this isn't the first time we had a meeting with a publisher, but it's the first time we initiated contact with a publisher, and the experience is very different.
Oh yeah, it's way different. It's being at the publisher that approached you being at your whim, and then you approaching a publisher and you're at their whim, and oof, it's rough.
We're used to being the hot girl at the bar where guys approach us, and for the first time we approached a good-looking guy, and we're like, we don't know how this goes.
He's not gonna call us back.
Yeah.
He gave us a fake phone number.
Ah, no.
Yeah. But no, we had a really good time. It was fun hanging out with everybody on Sunday night. There was a lot of alcohol involved.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you made a tweet of like, hey, does anyone want 30 beers?
37 beers.
37
I had
beers.
37 beers left over.
Yeah, we told Tony like, like lightly, we might not have enough.
Oh no.
Beer. And he went full Texan on us and brought us like a 40-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, it was mostly like
Jesus.
He asked us how the meeting went, and I was like, I just gave him a thumbs up, and he was like, he assumed that meant like really well, like, oh, we just signed a publishing deal. And so he brought a box of PBR, a box of Rainier, and a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which was very, very nice.
It
and
was...
Tony, if you're listening, thank you.
Well,
very much.
you know what?
Really appreciate it.
You know what? If I don't know if you said this part yet, but if you do a thumbs up, that at least means it's not a straight up no.
Yeah, exactly.
So that it's worth it. It's worth it.
You guys will all
sure.
know when we sign a publisher deal, because I will be MIA for at least 3 days. I'm gonna go on a 3-day bender. Of
Great. Well, you could go on a 3-day bender of just like enjoying life, actually.
Or that, yeah. I might just disconnect for a few days, just because that would be cool.
Yeah, don't die right before we are about to make this game. We get a publishing deal and Elliot just drinks himself to death.
You'll read about it in the newspaper.
I guess we should move on to questions. We also put out a build for you guys, which was pretty much exactly what we had shown the publisher and had played during that time. And there was a ton of content in that with the character select and everything, and all of the features that we had put in like the night before. And the air sustain and a lot of new Tac Knight stuff went in. So you guys have been playing with that for like the last month and a half. But, things have kind of, because of our current publisher situation, having to sit around and wait for everything, things have kind of slowed down a little bit.
But before that, we had that rush though.
Oh man, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we should talk about that too. We were basically asked, and this is kind of, a fairly common thing, but we had to put together a bunch of pitch materials in order to pitch to this publisher. And so basically 2 weeks after PAX was just like an insane rush to make sure that 3 weeks, that's right. It was an insane rush to make sure that we got like everything in the game worked, and we added a bunch more polished content, and we made
budget proposals.
I had to go through the budgets and everything, do our roadmap, go through our roadmaps again. We did the video. Ellie and I recorded the gameplay overview, which hopefully gives a better idea of how the tag mechanics work.
I had to scrounge together a bunch of design work.
All the concept art and stuff.
Yeah, what is it? Part of me got overzealous, and I designed a bunch of characters. So, like, right now the plan is Cerebrawl is going to be 8 characters, but I have, like, 12 characters designed that I really want to put in the game, so...
I think that'll feed into a question we have later, too.
Oh, okay. But yeah, currently what we're doing now is... we're kind of recovering, because that was... The amount of work that we did, like, around PAX time was a lot. And not only that, we're kind of concentrating on creative stuff, because we're trying to flesh out some more core mechanic stuff, because me and Wilson, who, by the way, Wilson is...
he split his dome open.
I saw the photos. It was fucked up.
Yeah, Wilson's not here because he went to the bathroom late at night, and he slipped, and he landed on his dome piece, and he split it wide open. And oh boy,
he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, pictures are rough.
Yeah. Anyway, he and we're designing the grappling system, and we're realizing that there's like core mechanics that we need to like flesh out. Stuff like on knockdown, is there going to be like a wake up roll? Can you control the direction that you air recover on air hits? Stuff like that for like, what is it? Because grapplers are going to reset you into a throw, so there's got to be a way out of certain like throw mix-ups and stuff like that. So we're fleshing that stuff out, and we're trying to like at least get like the characters that are coming down the pipe, we want to have at least an idea of how they're going to play and stuff like that. So we're doing a lot of creative work. Not a whole lot of stuff we can show. Like if we could show our Confluence pages, those are getting fleshed out, but that's not fun.
Yeah. We should probably bust into the questions, because there are a few questions that go along with what we're talking about right now.
Oh, okay, perfect. First question I remember. First question is Scott going to be on the podcast? And I think we can answer that one.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
He thought about it. Wasn't sure if he could make it, and he didn't. He's not actually here right now. So.
Yeah. It's actually void.
This is the soundboard once again.
Yeah.
We've actually just fed his voice into a robot, and this is what we got back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the soundboard once again.
Yep.
The soundboard has become self-aware.
So the first question, going along with what you're saying, Elliot, Smash Persona asks, when's the next character reveal?
I don't know.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Here's a character.
There is a part of me... I don't know.
Not really Christmas, by the way, before we go on. That is not...
Yeah.
That's just something I said out loud.
Yeah. There is a part of me that kind of wants to... I do and I don't want to. I think it would be fun to put the characters up for a vote, but at the same time, if I do that, I have to reveal all the characters, which kind of kills the hype train down the road.
I don't think that's true. But, I mean, 3 characters I think would be fine for a vote.
Yeah, maybe, because like there are characters that I kind of created on stream and people really like them. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Hopefully, what is it? How about this? Once we start roughing out animations for the 3rd character, we'll reveal another character. I can get that specific.
Oh man, it's gonna be a long time. Okay.
Not so. We're not gonna polish Tack Knight before we start the.
Well, but he's still got missing moves, right?
Yeah.
So
Like-
but yeah, once those are in, and
Yeah, we still got to do his throw. We still got to do his. What animations do we have to do?
don't forget a shield tech.
Yeah, his shield. That might have to wait just because we need draw order control in the state machine, and that's probably not gonna be in the game for a minute.
Hmm.
So yeah, next character might be revealed soon, hopefully before Christmas.
Christmas.
Hopefully.
Mhm.
Hopefully. J.M. Morals asks, I wanted to nip this question in the bud.
Okay.
Because we get this question a lot. And I appreciate it. I understand it. I understand the current climate of indie video games.
Oh no, you're already making me nervous. What is it?
Will there be possible collaboration / guest characters from other indie games?
I mean, is it possible? Anything's possible.
I don't think. Okay, so
But
If it's a publisher demand,
no, I think that's
so-
a fucking deal breaker.
Yeah.
no.
I
So
think that is a
I don't
deal
think there's
breaker.
any chance. If we're not going to do it for tons of money, then I don't think we're going to do it at all.
Yeah. That's,
Okay.
So the thing.
yeah, like
That's a good point.
The
Yeah,
thing about
Matthew,
collaborations is that you only do it if it greatly benefits you. Like either a game is like yours, which with fighting games they're so competitive that would be a bad idea, or a game is coming out around the same time and you think like will not have a similar audience at all. But generally, I feel like I see that in indie games. I see that in my very own games. 2064 read-only memories. We have tons of those, and the longer time goes on, I think the more it just kind of grates and is not a great idea.
Sure.
And to go as far as having like a character in the game is just like it devalues everything about Cerebrawl, because you just have this outside thing that is not everything in Cerebrawl. I think is so creative that to just like tag in some character from another game.
I think the character that we include from another indie game would have to be from a game, and I'm kind of hinting at something here, have to be from a game that is so close to our community, someone that like people that have been involved with our community for a really long time and show up to all of our streams, and like we know their game really well and that sort of stuff.
Well, I think if we were going to do any collaboration, it would be something like in a level, like to have something in the background. I think that's the smart kind of collaboration to do, to just have these little nods that add flavor to our world if someone doesn't know the reference, and if someone does, they're happy about it.
Yeah, that and also like the workload requirement on having like a guest character is very 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 high in a fighting game.
Yeah, and you're just doing it to have this other thing in your game that's not really part of it.
Yeah, we're basically setting aside, I mean, if we have the money, setting aside 3 to 4 months of our time to make a character that is not part of the canon of the game.
Which, if this was our third iteration and we had some ground going, it'd be a different story. But
Sure.
Yeah.
there's a lot
Let
of
me
what
okay.
for us.
To answer the question succinctly, it's not impossible, but it'd be very 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 difficult to convince us.
Yeah.
Very very
Yeah.
difficult.
For sure. Next question. Grizzly Brian, how is funding going?
Hi,
Well,
Brian.
Hi Brian.
Thanks for writing in. Did you hear the part earlier about game development?
Yeah. You could be making dozens and dozens of dollars.
Well, actually,
So
there's
the publisher count at this point is 2 have approached us, 1 we have approached and we have spoken to. And I am happy to give the Gumroad numbers here in a second when I have them. So far, we've raised $5,500 over our
Jeez.
entire time selling this game.
2
which
years,
is-
right? It's been
has it been 2 years? I don't think it's been 2 years yet. Maybe a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Mm.
Maybe it has almost been 2 years. Jesus Christ. And that's just from you guys donating. So if you're listening to this podcast and you've contributed to this number,
thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So if you would like to help fund the game right now, you want to help us do things like, pay for shows or
get more voice acting sooner.
Get more voice acting or signage or what other like small things we need here and there to improve the game or get us out there to show the game, then please tell your friends about the website so that we can get this number raised up. This is not the way that we originally approached this, I think, was as a means for raising money to continue development on the game. And to be perfectly frank, that's not how it ended up, though the money has been still extremely beneficial. Anytime that we need to do something for the game, we want to add a little bit of extra whatever, like Helen's voice, or we do need to show the game at PAX. That money has always been in our back pocket to support us, and we super appreciate that. The hotel room at PAX, you guys fully funded all of that, and that's really awesome. So funding is going like that so far, and like we talked about before, it's a lot of waiting and hoping that we do land a publisher here soon.
Yeah, the funding hasn't been able to like pay for individual development costs. Like it's not enough for a salary, but anything we need to do to like promote the game, like be at events, paying for the website, it's been so helpful.
Yeah, super helpful. So thank you guys for doing that, and I appreciate the question because we like to stay transparent as far as that stuff goes. So thank you for the question so that we could continue to be transparent. Killick64, sort of along the same lines, kind of, not really. What kind of monetization system are you considering post-release? Example, we pay for characters one at a time, or we pay for a new edition with lots of stuff at once.
Oh, we haven't really discussed that.
We haven't. I think we've loosely discussed it, and I think it's come down to like, if we're gonna put stuff out, it'll be probably single characters and like palettes and stuff. But palettes are so easy to do; they might just end up being free, and you'd probably end up paying for characters, and maybe stages.
We did have that. We did have that idea. What is it? I think it was either you, Aaron, or you, Scott, like brought up if we ever have like a Cerebrawl league, we can fund it by selling pallets then. And
oh sure, that's what Capcom does for the Pro Tour, and that's what Valve does for Dota.
You brought up the idea of taunts as well.
That's right. Selling taunts, that'd be a fun thing to sell, because I think it's enough work to do a taunt that like people would be willing to buy it, and it's not something that impacts gameplay. So yeah, that'd be fun. There is a part of me that still wants to fund a Cerebrawl league through gambling money, but that's going to take a lot of work to figure it all out. So I have that in my back pocket.
It has to be regulated, man. Think about that. Think about how much red tape you have to go through for that.
I know. That's the thing. The red tape does scare me. But like, I mean, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, okay, Evo's in Vegas and they don't. I'm always like, oh man, you guys should use that.
Like these big AAA games that are doing loot boxes and stuff are like trying as hard as they can to not have the regulation conversation start about that stuff. They're scared of the red tape.
Oh well, that's already happened in China. Like loot boxes basically are not allowed in China because they're considered gambling. Yeah,
it's in Asia they already have it figured out. All the gachapon games are part of the like gambling regulated, everything.
Gachapon is really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
It's considered gambling.
That's why Dota.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dota had to change up its system of loot boxes, in which every time you open a loot box, you cross out the item that you receive off of a list. So you can never receive doubles from a loot box. It'll just, you'll go through all of them, and then once you've paid for every item in the loot box, it just resets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, definitely,
By the time
loot
Cerebrawl
boxes.
comes out, the conversation around that stuff might be completely different. Maybe the bigger companies will have figured it out by then, and it'll be easier.
I like the way Guilty Gear does it with fishing. Like, all the content already exists in the game, and you get in-game money to pay for it, and you go fishing, and you get a chance to receive some of these items.
Yeah.
And there is a potential for monetizing that, but that might be a little scummy, where you can like buy currency to spend in the game. I don't know how big of a fan I am of that, but there's
I think when the stuff is cosmetic, and the monetization option is just something that'll speed up whatever you can already do. I think that's like my threshold, and anything above that is too ridiculous. If you're paying money to make the game good, that's what seems. Well, I'm not going to say too much because I haven't played it, but it seems like with Shadow of War, the idea is that there's a lot of grinding you would have to do that you can completely bypass with money. And hey, maybe just take that out of the game, and maybe don't start thinking about the monetization process so early that you're actually destroying your own game. I mean, the devs probably don't want all that stuff in there, but business.
It also makes more sense for a multiplayer experience in which you are essentially given something that you can show off in a match. Like, I received this palette that you can only get from whatever. Like, if we had an event, if we went to Evo and we had codes that we could hand out, and it was like, if you put in this code, you'll get this specific palette, and you can only get this palette by seeing us at event. Like, that's a big thing, but I don't know if we would make people ever pay for that.
Just have Tac Knight with the fake bootleg Supreme that says it's lit.
Tac Knight Supreme Armor.
Oh man, I mean that's the artificial scarcity. It would go perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. And man, that stuff works. The booty shorts in PUBG right now are worth like $400.
What?
Yep.
Real dollars.
Real dollars on the
real Steam dollars.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Real Steam dollars usable only on Steam.
They've raised their cap, as far as I know. It used to be items would cap out at $400 on the marketplace, and I think they raised that.
Oh, they definitely did. If you look at the scarf from the PlayerUnknown set.
Yeah. The whole PlayerUnknown set is like $1,400 or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, video games are crazy. When I sold all of my Dota items, I made, I think, $800. But it was all in Steam Wallet, so it was like, oh, here's my game budget for the next year.
God, you spent $800 on games a year?
At least, yeah.
Oh, shit.
But you don't?
No. No, I can't. Can I? No.
I spent $20 on video games this year. I only bought Little Nightmares.
Wow, that's such a random game. I'm sorry. It's kind of a random game for you to buy.
I wanted a game that I can play with Rizu, because like first-person shooters, she would get dizzy watching.
Yeah.
So
if you haven't done that shit for, a decent amount of time in your life, it is really like.
I know.
I remember when I came back to FPS for the first time in 6 years or so, I got sick too.
Yeah, because I tried playing. Oh wait, no, I spent $40 this year because I bought like a used copy of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right. I remember you saying I'm finally playing MGS5.
And it made Rizu very dizzy, so I was like, all right, we need a side scroller.
You gotta play Inside, man.
Oh yeah, that's
right
definitely the next one.
Yeah,
that's a great game.
Yeah, I should play that one. I can use my Steam controller again.
You're the only one who's ever said that.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Little Nightmares was actually pretty fun on a Steam controller.
Yeah, I bet that pad is good for it.
Collects dust. haven't used it since we got them for free.
Yeah, which was like 2 years ago.
What's the next question?
Yeah, what's the next
question? Kyonchi, will there be a bonus mode where somebody has to dodge waist-high tables?
I laughed about this a lot more
Yeah, I know.
before the podcast when I first heard it.
Some people will understand, but unless you come to the streams, you won't understand. If anything, it should be knee-high tables. You gotta protect your shins and toes, baby.
Stumbling through a room of knee-high tables.
Yeah.
So this question's basically in here to tell you that if you don't show up to the stream, then you're gonna miss fun jokes like that.
They really are fun, though.
They are fun. The streams are fun.
Mm-hmm. All right, next question.
Next and last question for today. Gardley, is there going to be a bad guy playable boss character, something along the lines of M. Bison or Geese Howard?
We are discussing just that, actually, right now. There's a character that was designed, and at least Wilson and I agree, like, he looks like a last boss. He'd be like a perfect last boss.
Is it someone that exists that we know about?
It's well, everyone knows the JPEG names, right?
Yes, everyone pretty much knows the JPEG names.
Do you want to do that though?
Yeah. Do I want to reinforce that?
Yeah.
Okay, the JPEG was. Fuck it. Yeah, the JPEG name was Greek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Remember,
you've seen him, right? You've seen the new iteration?
I have seen his new iteration. It makes more sense.
I agree.
With his new iteration, why he's turning into a boss character, yes.
Yeah.
So, do you think this would be a promotion for him in terms of, or them .jpeg for this JPEG? Would this be a promotion for them in terms of their slot in the roster? Like, would they remain playable, you think?
Yeah, I think they would be. I think they would be playable. Playable, yes. Yeah, chances are, I think this JPEG is gonna probably be in the game, because like, it's an idea that Wilson is super excited about. He's apparently really into like mythology and stuff like that, so he really wanted to make a character around that stuff. So I'm like, all right.
I really like the idea. I like the idea that Helen is like extremely mad and just hates people and is angry, but she's still not the actual villain. She's like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Damn,
like,
you're right.
The idea
she could be a boss character too.
No, she shouldn't be though. I really like that she is not, and that she would just see the boss and be like, whatever, you're going to be under my feet. I like the idea. Of course, there is one person who this imagination bomb makes them kind of like holier than thou, and they just see it as their time to do whatever nefarious thing. Kind of like a Ozymandias and Watchmen. Oh, that's a spoiler. Whatever. But yeah, that thing, that thing of just having a character who is like actual evil versus these characters who are just mean or fiendish or completely nihilistic. It's cool that there's like a separation where maybe they can all even though they're evil, they can all agree that this guy is like more evil.
And that's the cool thing about the premise at all, is that due to the way the imagination bomb works, it's all about their perspectives. So like, who really is to say who's right and who's wrong?
Oh yeah.
You can't see Elliot's face, but he's feeling himself right now.
I feel pretty good.
He's like, I inspired. I'm the imagination bomb.
Oh, dude, that reminds me. I just saw Blood Blockade Battlefront the other day.
Is this anime?
Yeah,
it is.
It's a good one. It's very visually imaginative. I like it very much, and I'm watching it now and it's very fun. But I got to try really hard to not get influenced by it, because there's like a lot of premise stuff that I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind. But yeah, it's a similar thing. It's a what is it? it's a city where something happened. Nobody really knows exactly what happened, and everything's like the city's all fucked up now.
I feel like there's like thousands of things like that. It's just a matter of, how you do it. Ideas can't really be stolen.
Yeah.
If we're thinking about it, really, we're all walking through a room of knee-high tables.
So that's the podcast.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's good. That's a good place to leave it off on.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on our Sunday afternoon. We really appreciate all the support you guys have shown us so far. So please, if you could, tell your friends, take them over to the website, tell them to throw us a few dollars so we can keep doing what we're doing. And thanks to everyone on the Discord. And I think that'll do it. I think we'll see you guys next time, whenever that is, because we just kind of do these whenever we feel like it.
It's become that, yeah.
It's become that.
Okay.
So,
although if you load questions into the podcast channel, chances go up because now we're thinking about it.
yes, please go to the podcast channel and intermittently just put questions in there. And they don't all have to be about the game. If you guys want to just ask us questions about anything, about the games industry, about video games in general, about your love life, whatever you want to ask, we will answer. So feel free to drop it in there. But that will do it for this time. Thank you so much. One more thing. You can also find us on Twitch. Please go to bit.ly/twitch. bit.ly/Cerebrawl. We do co-streams, which means both of us are streaming at the same time, so you can see what both of us are doing at the same time, and you can see a single chat, which is pretty neat. So check that out. Come hang out with us. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you, and just be cool.
Hey, where they at? If you want to go and take a ride with me.